Hi, I'm Dan the Chili Man, and it's chili time as always here. Today we're going to create what we feel is a wonderful Super Bowl treat. This is my wife Jackie here with me, and first of all we're going to make her famous jalapeno cornbread. As always, we cook with music, and today we've selected a little Tito Puente to help spice up the video here. And so if you see us stop and do a little rumba, just hang on with us here. So what do you got for us, Jackie?
Okay, well, first of all, I do everything with fresh ingredients. I love butter, love sour cream, love buttermilk, and I always roast my vegetables. So first we're going to put the roasted vegetables in here, which I've already pre-roasted, and mix that in the dry batter.
And what is in that dry batter?
It is jalapeno peppers, some cilantro, red peppers, and garlic. And then I'm going to mix in the spicy ingredients, cayenne pepper, and the leavening agents, and mix that in.
Okay, what's in your dry mix? Your mix you poured all that into?
That's just garlic, salt, there's cayenne pepper, and
cornmeal?
The cornmeal. It's cornmeal and it's whole wheat pastry flour.
Okay.
So then I'm going to mix in the buttermilk mixture, which is buttermilk, butter, sour cream, and that should be at room temperature. And all you're really going to do is just mix this until it is together. You don't want to over mix it. And then the next thing we want to do is pull out our skillet. We want to put this in a very hot 450-degree oven for 10 minutes skillet, and we're going to pour this into the skillet.
I'll help you here and get the skillet out.
Alrighty.
You'll see how it's smoking
here.
It's
very smoking. You're going to hear this awesome sizzle sound when you pour this batter in here. And as soon as that's all in here, we'll put it in the oven for about 15 minutes. We're going to put our convection button on, and that should cook in about 20 minutes.
Okay. How come you heat the skillet?
Well, you heat it in the skillet to get a very good browning. And then we're just going to pop this in the skillet real quick. And we're going to put on our confection button.
Okay. What now? How are we going to serve that?
Well, we're going to serve that with a very spicy chili butter. That I make my own chili recipe, chili spice recipe, and that'll be on our recipe on the.
So we'll have the recipe on the blog so everybody can follow it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good. We'll be back and make some chili to go along with this. Hey, we're back again. In today's chili, we're going to use some pork. And we've got a approximately 3 pound piece of pork loin here. And you can use any kind of pork roast. We got this because it was on sale at Sam's. But anyway, it's got the fat cap on it, and we're going to remove some of that. You always want to be careful because you don't want to cut your fingers off. So we're going to get not all of it, because I am of the opinion that the fat cap gives a lot of good flavor and gives it, I don't know the term I want to use, cookability maybe. So we're going to cut a lot of that off of there, leaving some. I just take the knife and just go down just outside the meat. Okay, we've got our pork cubed up into 1/2-inch cubes here. We have browned it slightly in our cooking pot. We haven't cooked the life out of it, just browned it a bit. This is the last batch here. And what I always like to do with meat when I'm browning it is add a little salt and pepper to the pot. We'll let that cook a minute. We'll cut the rest of our vegetables up. We're going to use approximately 2 cups of coarsely chopped onion. We'll take that outer skin off. And what do we do with that? As always, some comes off easier than others. We find our compost bowl, and that goes right back in the garden. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use about 6 to 8 cloves of garlic, and we're going to crush them. We've got this wonderful little crusher. I think she got it at IKEA. You see all the people on TV, and I don't know what happened to my flat blade knife, but if you crush that clove, cut off the top and the bottom, this skin peels off so much easier. We can just put it in our crusher, handy little deal, and run it through almost like a potato ricer. There's some assorted skin and things like that. Now, we hope nothing goes to waste. Sometimes you get a little piece of that outside onion peel that you may not want to put in it, but it's still good for something. I keep a stock pot in the freezer with, these are some beet tops and some celery trimmings and things like that, and I keep that till I get a big bag, and I make some stock, some vegetable stock or chicken stock or whatever, because there's an old adage that I firmly believe in, and that is that you wash with water and you cook with stock. So we're going to put that back in the freezer, and it will save that till we get a lot. Once again, we've got some compost here. We did brown that meat in a little bit of vegetable oil, so we're going to put just a tiny bit more in there, maybe 2-3 tablespoons. We're going to saute our nice chopped onions. That's probably about 2 cups. I use 2 medium-sized onions. We've got our 6 garlic cloves crushed, and we're just going to, my hands are full, and we're just going to saute that just till it gets a little golden, only a couple of minutes, in with that nice oil that was from the pork. And when that's done, we're going to put our seasonings in there. We're going to put 1 can of tomato paste in there, and we're going to put 2 bouillon cubes and some beer. Now, beer, I think, is a great thing for cooking. We put beer in almost all our chilies. In fact, when Jackie makes sauerkraut, she cooks it with a can of beer and a diced up Granny Smith apple. So I think this is about nice and getting a little golden. Maybe I'm rushing a little bit much, but it'll cook in the mix too. Jackie's always a firm believer in always roasting or sauteing her vegetables. So let's put the seasons in there, and this will all be on our blog, so you can get all the more precise things. Stir that in good. Let's put a whole can of tomato paste in there. If you'll notice, there's no tomato sauce or no whole tomatoes or chopped tomatoes in this, just tomato paste. Something different. Okay, 2 bouillon cubes. And then we're going to put in a quart of beer. I don't drink beer like I used to, so when I drink beer, I like to drink something interesting. Well, the beer we're using today is going to be Wiedemann's Special Lager. Wiedemann was a brewery in Newport, Kentucky, right across the Ohio River from Cincinnati. And I remember back in the 70s and 80s going there. They had a rooftop beer garden. Go in there and drink beer and look out across the river to the skyline of Cincinnati. So we're going to put about a quart in there, which is about 2.5 bottles. We're going to keep that other half bottle here in case we need a little bit more liquid. And don't worry, it won't go to waste. The cook will have that. So we're just going to let this cook for a while here. Get this get simmering good. Good deal. Hey, we've got everything cooking real good here. We've got our pot. Man, it's getting hot here. We're gonna come out of that. We've got our basin here cooking real good. We're gonna put this wonderful pork meat back in the skillet. Already I see I'm gonna use it and need that other half bottle of beer. Okay, here's for our special ingredient. This is sauerkraut, which we've drained. 4 cups of sauerkraut, which I estimate to be 1 bag. Those bags you get in the grocery store. So it's shredded, but we're going to cut it a little finer. So we're going to make maybe, I don't know, 3 cuts across that way, and maybe 2 or 3 cuts that way. And I feel that's probably good enough. Okay, we're going to dump this in there. Let everything just keep cooking. Now, we don't want to cook this real hard. We're going to simmer everything real good for probably about a half hour. Look how thick that is. So, what's our answer? Wiedemann again. We're probably gonna have to put another bottle in there. The good thing about, one great thing about chili is that it's not like baking where you need to have that precise amount of yeast or leavening or whatever. Everybody plays it by ear. We're gonna put in some kidney beans. The old recipe calls for 20 ounces, and I got two 15-ounce cans, which I drained partially. So I'm gonna put in almost both of those cans. What the hell? This is nothing wrong with that. We like beans in our chili. So we're gonna stir that up. Let that cook about a half hour, and this is gonna be fine. This is, we think, a great Super Bowl thing. Something different people haven't had, but I think they're all gonna enjoy this very good if they've got the most important ingredient for chili, which is an open mind. Okay, we're ready here to get our Super Bowl chili out here. You know, cooking is just like fishing. It's all in the presentation. We put this in this nice soup tureen here. We've got some chopped onions, grated cheddar cheese for people who like that. We've got Jackie's wonderful jalapeno cornbread with her chili butter. And it's now chili time. You know, the Super Bowl, this is Super Bowl 50 coming up, but doesn't anybody really care who wins? It's all about the party and the food and the camaraderie. The only people who care are the people from those towns or the gamblers who got money on the thing. It's all about the party and the food and all that really matters here. And I'll tell you, if you serve this chili at your Super Bowl party, they're not going to carry how many touchdowns Peyton Manning might throw. They're going to be interested in this. Sauerkraut is considered like a German type thing, so we're going to have a little beer with ours.
Or wine if you don't like beer.
You know what they say is, they say is your perfect beer has 1.5 inches of foam on it. Let's try a little of this chili butter here.
I would love a little of that chili butter on mine. Okay.
That's what tough legends are made out of.
Very good.
Oh, it's going to be hot. And remember,
Wow. That's a
it's
chili.
always chili time.